Yeah, I was told that it was going to be quick, Leland, that they chose 7:30 tonight, not because it was in prime time, which is what a lot of people thought. Oh, this was all planned because Trump wanted all the attention. I'm told no, that this was ironed out by the Secret Service this time because there was less traffic on the roads. They felt that it would be safer. There were a lot of planning meetings that went into this. I'm told it was going to be quick, which you mentioned. It was just over 20 minutes. He went into that booking area. There was the mugshot, the fingerprints. Filled out some forms, and then he was out. But what's most interesting to me, hearing about the Fulton County Jail, it is arguably the worst jail, or one of the worst jails in the entire country. And I am told the booking area is especially disgusting. It's known to be hot in there. The AC doesn't work well. I've spoken to people who were in there just in the last couple of days who say, like, it's not like improvements were made because Trump was going to show up. It floods in there routinely. There is just a stench right when you walk in. So, you know, while we were sort of waiting while he was inside, I was just thinking about that to myself. Here's a man who is used to living in the White House. He's used to living at Mar-a-Lago. I can only imagine. I mean, he's probably never been in a place quite like that, because I am told it's just a disgusting, awful booking area.
Well, with a very vivid description based on your sources, Brian Entin. Thank you. And look, I mean, that it's important to get that reality of what things look like. And now he is back inside of a Secret Service motorcade on his way to his private 757. So, as Brian pointed out, quite different experiences an hour apart for Donald Trump. Tom Morgan, former district attorney of DeKalb County, Georgia, is with us now. Look, we got to talk about the charges themselves as it relates to this, Tom, and I appreciate you being with us. Much has been made of this racketeer influence corrupt organization charge, and there's two bars, right, that Fani Willis needs to meet. One is that in a court of law, you got to prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Then you've got to prove in the court of public opinion to people who don't necessarily like Donald Trump, but don't like a weaponization of the American justice system, that these crimes were so egregious they had to be prosecuted. That there is just no question. There was no prosecutorial discretion. This just rise to such a level. And the more I read about the RICO statute in Georgia and how broad it is, the more it feels like this might be just a little bit of too cute by half by a district attorney who spent 2 years investigating and then was beat to the grand jury, if you will, by a federal prosecutor.
I know Ms. Willis. We were colleagues as district attorneys. I've also tried cases against her. She's a formidable opponent in the courtroom. As a former district attorney, I can tell you, you don't pick and choose the cases. The evidence comes to you, and then you have to decide where to proceed and how to proceed. As far as the U.S. Attorney Jack Smith in D.C., I can tell you as a state prosecutor, state prosecutors and federal prosecutors are like oil and water. They do not mix. Ms. Willis has said she's never met Mr. Smith, never talked to him, and wouldn't know him if he walked into her office. And I firmly believe that. It's just they're different systems. We have parallel systems in this country, and she just had to take the evidence as it goes. I prosecuted the first corrupt public official in Georgia under the RICO statute. You make an excellent point. It is a broad, encompassing statute. There are more opportunities to prosecute political corruption in Georgia than there is in the federal case.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.